Hi YouTube family. Okay, you know that for the past couple of weeks behind the scenes, the boys and I have been preparing for our holiday markets. Last year we showed you that we did one Christmas market, and the year before, on the first year we were here in Nova Scotia, we showed you that we entered the small town market for the very first time. And both years we were so ill prepared for the show, we just didn't know how many people were going to come through, and we sold out the first year in about a half an hour, 45 minutes. And we really under predicted how many people would come through in such a small rural area. Last year we made, I would say, 20 times as much inventory as we took the first year. And we were sold out by about 10:40, except for about 6 of our ornaments. We really needed this year to focus and really think of some new designs so we could make our table look fresh and also make sure that we had sufficient inventory to be able to have not only one show this year, but we signed up for a second local show as well, which is about half an hour, 40 minutes from where this one is the weekend after. So we have an event on November 25th at Whitehead here in Nova Scotia, about 15 minutes away from our house here. I'll put the information in the description box if you're in Nova Scotia and you want to come by and visit. We will be there. And it's just a 3-hour show. So we want to make sure this year that for the full 3 hours, we can have things on our table. Selling out is amazing, but we really don't know how much potential we have to sell by having inventory for that full 3 hours, because 2 years in a row, we didn't even make it till 11 o'clock with really anything on the table at all. So I want to show you some things that we've been working on. And I still have 5 more creating days, I would say, before we set up late Friday night, which we'll also show you guys. We'll show you kind of throughout this week what we're working on to get prepared for the show. Our setup, all the things. We're gonna take you guys along for everything. And then of course, you'll come with us for the day of the show and see how we did. And then we'll see what we're left with to see what we need to do, because we will have a 1-week break between that event and the second one. I don't know if we sell out what we're gonna do. If we sell it at the first one, we're gonna have a week to just hustle, or how this is gonna really play out, but we're gonna go with it and see how things go. But I'm so excited to show you a few new designs from this year and how we've revamped some of the ideas that sold out last year, because we like things to be fresh year after year and not be exactly the same. And then, like I mentioned, later this week, we'll show you some things about our setup, because we're going to change up how things are going to go this year. And we're going to be building some things for that. So, okay, let's take a look at some things we've been doing so far. And then today, I want to work with you and do a create with me and show you how I bring a couple of these ideas that I have to life and really put them into application. So, okay, I want to show you, this is so fun. And we even implemented some of the materials that some of our YouTube family members sent for us to upcycle. So I want to show you how those played out as well. After we got all rested from helping Phil's mom and dad move in, this morning I woke up feeling incredibly creative. So I started doing these little sceneries that I'll be painting. I'll see how these turn out before I cut any more. Just want to see what they look like painted. But since we're in Nova Scotia and we're coastal, I thought that these little seascapes would be so cute. So my idea is it just like those little wood quilts that you can have on your barn, like a barn quilt, that I would draw out the shapes and then cut them all out. So these are all going to get painted in their colors and then distressed and kind of roughed up with sandpaper and then glued back all together to create these ornaments. So I'll show you today how I'm going to put a couple of these together. I'm excited to see how these are going to turn out. Sometimes you have an idea and you just don't know what it's going to look like and you just have to run with it. So this was my quick at 8 a.m. idea this morning. So what I did was I took a lid from a food container so that it would be the right size of what I would want. Then I just started drawing sceneries that would be simple shapes, and then used my scroll saw to be able to make all of the cuts. So those are all the cut lines that you see. So I'm gonna get to painting some of those, but I think these are gonna be really fun. And then I'll put my little eye hook and a hanger on them, and then there'll be ornaments. I really like this one here that has the fanned out, sun. And then my boys love nighttime, nighttime skyscapes. So I think these little night ones with the moons are going to be really adorable. Okay, so that's one that's kind of in the works. One of our YouTube family members sent us these amazing wooden beads, and these beads were sort of flat on the bottom. So I'm not really sure if they were just wood ball things or if they were actually beads, but I'll show you kind of what they looked like. But we were able to come up with a really cute idea that I thought would make use of these. We had 7 in a baggie in one of the mystery boxes that she sent. And so we were able to make 7 of these ornaments. The boys each stole one because they really wanted them for our own tree. And we have 5 to take to the show, which isn't very many. I wish I had more of those round balls because I totally would have made more of these. But I think these are gonna go super fast because they are oh so adorable. Okay, these are our little melted snowmen, which we used those round beads that we got from one of our YouTube family members. They were flat on the bottom, so they were perfect to be able to make these little melted snowmen with them. And then I don't know if you remember, but last year I had used a thrifted scarf to be able to make little scarves for things that I'd cut up. So we did that as well. And then we cut some tree wood cookies from our property here and made the little levels of the melted snowman. It was Philip's idea to do the second one and have actually like 3 tiers of the snowman, which I think are so adorable. I think they are just darling. And then we used beads for their little buttons and actual sticks from our tree out front that didn't flower this year to be able to make the arms. I think they're adorable. And truth be told, we never have full-size non-melted snowmen here in Nova Scotia because all of our snowmen never stay frozen. So these are very fitting to have here at a craft show in Nova Scotia. But oh my, I'm so glad the boys took 2 of these to put on our tree. So last year we made a version of these little tiny boats and they sold so quickly we couldn't keep them on the table. And so this year we decided to not just take 24 of these boats, but we actually have 68 of these boats. So these ones here are already done with their little buoy on them and they have their little fan banner that goes on them, which is really adorable. And these ones I still have to do the little buoy and the fan on, which is why we have this little bin full of them. But this year we changed up the colors a little bit. We just made them a little bit more custom. And then what I did was I used all scrap wood for these, a little piece of gold wire and felt to make the little banners. We have the little silver grommets for sort of the window on the little boat. These were little wooden rings that you can get that are just raw wood, and we just painted them to look like buoys. And then we just used some discount, dollar store stamps to be able to put on the word Nova Scotia, because I seem to have really good luck selling things at the event that actually say Nova Scotia on them. These things are so quick and easy to be able to put in the mail for people. And so I think that that's a really good keepsake for someone to send, if they were going to mail and put something in the post for someone for Christmas. So I think it's really cute to be able to put Nova Scotia on them. But these are our boats. So we'll have, I think, about 68 of these prepared for the show. So we have been making like crazy to get these ready because we know that as, our history repeats itself, we'll probably sell out of our little boats. And since we are a fishing and lobster fishing community here, I thought it would be really cute to have a couple larger ones as well. And we did sell some of these previous years and they sold really well. So I wanted to make sure that we had at least a handful of them to take to the event this year. So we have just 6 of these, but I think small sell a lot better on my table. And so I didn't want to have anything too big that would be in a price point that wouldn't be like a quick grab item. So only 6 of these, but I think they'll be really cute on the table. And in previous years, we have made these little wooden scrap wood whales, and we do them in different versions of colors and shapes and sizes. And they have done really well for us. You can see I have the eye hook on, but not the hangers on a lot of the ornaments we've done right now. Like our boats don't have their hooks on and things. We'll have to have a whole day this week where we just go and put those all on. But we have 100 whales cut out. So I think there's 60 something here done and painted. And then I have another 45 or 50 downstairs all ready to get the paint on, already cut out. So we've been selling a lot of these a couple years in a row. So we wanted to make sure we had a lot this year. You can see they all have like different eyes and some different detailing on them, but they are oh so darling. And I think we'll just do a plain white little nautical rope on them, and then that will finish these off and get them ready for the weekend. This next item I think is so adorable. And I think I've shown you these before that we made these little seahorses. And we only made a few of them last year just to kind of test them out and see how they would do. And we sold all of them. And we wish that we would have kept one for ourselves. So we started dabbling and making a few this year that we could actually keep for ourselves and found that we absolutely loved them. Chase was having a blast painting them, and I spent hours cutting out these seahorses. They're time consuming to trace out and then be able to cut out because they're pretty detailed. But using the scroll saw is one of my favorite things. And so I didn't mind cutting them if he was enjoying painting them. And so I think we have over 60 of these custom one-of-a-kind seahorses, and they are all the same shape, but he has customized and made every single one of them one of a kind. And he's hand painted them. And then I went and distressed and sanded them all, and they look absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait to take a couple to put on our own tree. But I think these are going to be really popular this year. So Chase chose all of the color combinations, and he has painted every single one of these. We have them all sanded and scrolled out, and they're ready to now have their hanger and their string. He has picked some amazing color combinations. Like, I absolutely love them. And there's kind of like one here for everyone. He's done such a good job. I cannot wait to have these on the table. I think he's happy that we're all done these now and we can move on to something else, but we had a blast painting these all together. How cute are these? And again, scrap wood, paint we already had, and now we just need to put on the hangers and some string to be able to have them hang on someone's tree. Since you know we can't leave any little scrap ends behind, we took a whole bunch of little corner scraps from being able to cut out other ornaments on our wood boards, and we made these little scrap block cube snowmen with a little heart on their chest. They have their holes already drilled on the side to get finished sanded, and then we're gonna be putting the sticks in, and we actually use little sticks right off the tree out the back of our house here. So what we do is we just do a quick little sand on the side and then glue in with a little bit of wood glue, and then we'll be able to have these finished up. And we're gonna probably put like a red and white striped string on them. I think they're so adorable and a great way to be able to put, to use that little scrap end that would otherwise just get thrown in the wood stove or something. In previous years, you've seen that we've used little mini pine cones from our homestead to be able to create penguins. And this year, Chase and Dayton both thought that it would be so adorable if we made some Atlantic puffins. And I also thought that that was going to be so stinking cute. But we wanted to make sure that they looked different than the penguins, but actually really looked like puffins. And so I think that we accomplished that because we made about 16 of these adorable little puffins, and I can't wait to get their little hangers on them. We made their eyes out of these little beads that look like they're supposed to be faux Christmas lights, and then stuck them into the styrofoam heads. And then I just custom painted their faces. The boys painted their bellies and their feet, and we used felt for their wings. But how cute are these? So there we have all of our puffins ready. And then we even have a couple of these little custom, hand painted little puffin ones, which are also really cute to have on the table as well. I'm just in the process right now of finishing sanding and desawdusting a whole bunch of these really tricky to cut lobsters because we're a lobster fishing community. Last year we had a similar shape version of these. They were a little more cartoony. So this year I wanted to make them look a little bit more simplistic, but still like really detailed at the same time, if that makes sense. So I still need to sand these and then distress them a little bit. You can see we have quite a pile, and those took so long to cut. And then we made a bunch of little Nova Scotia Christmas with the anchors on them, which I think are really cute. Again, just cut some circles out of some thin wood here, about 1/4 inch thick, stamps from the discount store for the Nova Scotia Christmas. And then we just added a little bit of jute to be sort of the, the rope or the chain for the anchor. I had showed you in a previous video that we made these really cute ombre sailboat ornaments, and I think they're absolutely the cutest things ever, and they're new for us this year. I love the ombre waves on them and just how simple the sailboat looks. But I thought that we needed something else that would be sailboat that would actually say Nova Scotia on them. So we made these really cute scrap wood sailboats, and we just put NS, did the cute little buoy on them. I think they're really cute. Not sure how I'm going to hang these ones yet because I can't put the little eye hook in the top just because it's too pokey. So I think I'm going to do something different. We have, I think, 12 of our sailboat ones, and then I think we just have 10 of our bigger sailboats here that say NS on them. Okay, so 2 years in a row, we have taken a version of this little vintage red truck, and each year it has changed. I'll show you from our first 2 years what we took. This year we kind of spent a little more time on them, and we decided to make a little wood back for the bottle brush tree. We did the monogram of the Nova Scotia on the side and just a little bit more detailed on the painting on them, but I think they're so cute. I do love leaving the ornaments with the raw wood on the sides. So this year we have, I think 16 of these. And then what we're gonna do also is, because one of our YouTube families sent us a couple of larger things, circles that look like wheels, we're gonna make a couple larger versions of these. And I did have a couple of larger bottle brushes in a Christmas bin that we're going to put in the back. So I'll show you those later in this week when I get them finished cut out. But I think these are adorable. I think we have 16. I think that's cute. We might have another 6 little mini brushes, so I think I might make 6 more because I think these are gonna be popular. Then we have some sea glass little penguins. We have our owl penguins, which we're still in the process of making some more of. A few other sort of loose ornaments that we're gonna have. This one I found in one of our bins from last year. I think this was the only one left, so I have to fix the beads on that one. And then we have some I love you hands, and then Dayton really wanted to have a few crabs this year, so I scroll saw cut out and then custom painted him some red, blue, and orange little crabs, which I think are so adorable. We still have a few more to paint there. So I think when you look at all of what we've accomplished over the past couple of weeks, you can see that we have quite a few things done. Downstairs on our kitchen table, we also have plenty more of our ornaments that are ready and prepped to get paint on that we've been working to cut out, like some other wood cookie snowmen, and we're working on other things that are like coastal here for our area, and some other stuff that you'll see when we actually show our full inventory on Friday night when we do our setup. So I just wanted to show you some of the fun new things that we've been working on that we're pretty excited about, that are already here up in the art room ready to be able to get their hooks on and kind of like get packed into our box to be able to go. But today, because the weather is supposed to be another storm tonight, I thought that it would be fun to work on those little coastal sceneries that we cut out. So I'm gonna do a couple of them now and show you how a few of them turn out and then see what they look like. And then I think I'll probably make some more of those to get cut out today. So today I think we have about 5 or 6 different styles of ornaments that we're adding to the list, which will be basically what we'll be doing for the next 4 or 5 days is cutting out scroll saw cutting in the morning, painting in the afternoon, and assembling in the evening, as well as working on our videos for you guys and showing you kind of everything and how this is all coming into shape. But I want to know what your favorite ones are of what we've seen today, and I'm going to get creating some of these landscapes. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you, Dayton went ahead and took a whole bunch of these brown paper bags, and we put this handmade with love sticker on all of them. I think this is a nicer way to be able to actually send people with our upcycled ornaments. I think a plastic bag would kind of defeat the purpose of the fact that we're using all eco and natural items for all of our things. So I think this is a cute way of doing it. And because they do open like the size of a full lunch bag, we can fit quite a few ornaments in them because most people don't just buy one thing, and we're going to want them to have something that they can take away with. So I think these are so cute. And then we just put them all into one big bag so that we have them all ready to be able to take really easily. This week, we are going to be packing ourselves an emergency kit to take, where we take, tape and hot glue and extra things that we might need, scissors and a Sharpie and all of our stuff, so that we know that no matter what happens during our setup or the day of the show, that we're prepared for some emergency items in case we need them. We also decided to order a really cute tablecloth this year. We just thought that with time being so close, that there wasn't any point in us making one this year. So I just bought one that we can use for both shows and maybe tuck away to use at the house maybe. I also think that it's interesting to note that both of our shows are only $10 to participate, which is so amazing as the artist to be able to go and not spend a lot of money on your table, because you really don't know how much you're going to sell. You can always assume that you're going to sell something, or you're going to sell a few things to cover your costs. But in the shows we did back in Ontario, sometimes they were several $100s to participate for the day. And even the one large show that we did was, I think, almost $1,400. So it's so nice to know that when you go, that it's just $10 to go. And we also don't even have far to travel. So that's really nice. We have spent a total of approximately $80 for everything that we've needed. And this year, really, we didn't have any expense on the materials we needed to create the actual ornaments. But because we've done 2 shows in a row, like 2 years in a row, I was out of all of our eye hooks. I needed some new blades for my scroll saw because I have well overused all of the blades. And then I was running out of scrap wood. So we really needed to go and buy about 4 or 5 more new boards that we can integrate with some of the other things we were making that were made out of scrap. We did buy discount scrap pine, where you can buy in clearance, where they're already like sort of what they considered a scrap board from the hardware store. So I'm really not using like, good solid pine or anything that they're selling, which does save on cost when we're cutting it all up anyways. But this year we've spent, I think, double what we did the last 2 years. We were under $40 2 years in a row for our tablecloths and everything. And this year, with 2 shows, both being $10 and about approximately $60 worth of other supplies to be able to create what we need to do this year, I think we're doing really, really well in budget to be able to go. And it just shows you, when we kind of will reflect after the shows on how much we'll have made. 2 years in a row, we were able to spend less than $40, and both years we came home with more than $1,000 in profit from our shows. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to be able to create items. You just have to think out of the box on what you already have, what you can use from nature, or things that you can make out of upcycled materials. We really try to spend as little money as possible. I'm going to start with this one here, which has sort of waves at the bottom and then a sun at the top. And I think it'll be really cute for me to stagger the shapes and make sort of a white and yellow, and then have ombre with the teal for the waves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint each of the items, and then I'm going to distress them so that they look like they're, kind of put together, and the sides are sanded so that you can really see all of the individual shapes when you put it together. And I'm not going to paint the sides. I really have been enjoying having the sides look raw with the wood, so you can actually get a feel and look at what each of the materials are and see that it was made from upcycled scrap materials. And then there really isn't any reason for me to paint the sides. I think it just adds to the natural look of it in the end. These are also great little shapes to be able to do if you're practicing and you're new to using a scroll saw. So even though I have plenty of experience using mine, these shapes don't take me very long to cut out, but it is just straight lines and squiggles. So if you have a scroll saw and you're practicing, cut some circles out and then draw some lines and squiggles to make some sceneries, and then you can get the practice of being able to cut them all out. You can see that I have the waves all done, and now I'm going to move on to the sun. So now I have my first one painted and I'm ready to wait for it to dry, and then I can get to sanding. So I think I'm gonna move on to painting a couple more while I'm waiting. I'm really excited to try this little nighttime seascape, so I'm gonna do that one next. There I have my first of my little scenery ornaments all painted. I'm gonna work my way down the line. I still need to glue it together so you can see that each of these individual pieces are all done and cut. And then I did the sanding on the edges. So once it's completely glued and put together, I'll be able to double check all the sanding on the edges of the circle and then put my hanger on. And then I work my way along, and you can see I still have some very wet paint on this little nighttime ocean seascape. But I think these are so adorable. They're gonna be all different colors. I think there'll be something for everyone. I think if they turn out, you know, how I hope that they will, I'll probably make another dozen or so before we go to the event, because I think these are so cute. What do you think? I hope that you enjoyed seeing everything that we've been getting ready so far. I can't wait to show you what else we come up with, because we still have 5 more days to prepare and we are not done yet. Usually in the last week, it's our crunch time and we get the most amount of our creating done in that last week. So you know that in our afternoons and evenings that we'll be all working together to get more things done that you'll get to see later on this week. On Friday night, we'll be showing you our Twas the Night Before Christmas craft market. We've done that last year and the year before, and it's always fun for you guys to see how we're gonna show and set everything up, and then all of our final inventory before we go home for a good night's rest to get up early to head to the market the next day. And you know, we'll give you the full tour of the market and show you what all of the artists that have come to the event have made and everything in a really detailed tour, which is always so fun to look back on. I just watched my own video from last year to see all of the amazing things that people had made, and it's so nice to be able to share and be able to showcase some of the things they've done as well as what we have ready for the event. And we will be seeing you later this week because we have other episodes coming to you between now and Friday, but Friday and Saturday you're gonna get to see our getting ready, setting up, and actually being at the event. So thanks for cheering us on, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode.